Today we continue the conversation regarding the 2022 NHL Olympics. We already looked at Team Canada's projected roster. Today I'm giving you my thoughts and predictions on Team USA. They have a lot of great players. Who will make Team USA's hockey team for this Olympic team? We'll discuss that coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, today we're projecting the roster for the 2022 Team USA Men's Olympic Hockey Team. Now, like Team Canada, the US team has a ton of awesome players to pick from. This was not an easy task. I do certainly think that the management team is going to have a difficult time deciding who makes the cut and who doesn't. Again, keep in mind, this is strictly just my opinion. Of course, I welcome other opinions. We can discuss down in the comments who should be on this team. So certainly let me know what you think the lineup will look like, and we can discuss. And if it's different from mine, that's totally fine. Like I said, this is just for discussion purposes only, and we can discuss who should be on the team. Now, we're going to go through this in 3 segments. We'll go by position. We'll start with the goalies, the blue line, and then the forwards, and we'll see what I've put together here. Now, first up, let's take a look at the goaltenders. The Americans are going to have some key guys to pick from, but there's no doubt they'll go with Vezina Trophy winning Connor Hellebuyck, most likely to be their starting guy. Hellebuyck's proven time and time again recently with the Winnipeg Jets that he can be counted on in key moments, and certainly can be their team MVP and win games on his own at times as well. So to me, Hellebuyck absolutely makes this roster and likely gets the starting job. The number 2 guy to me, also not complicated at all. They're going to go with Ducks goalie John Gibson. Gibson's been a terrific goalie for quite a few years now on a Ducks team that's struggled mightily and is basically going through a bit of a rebuild or a retool here. And so his stats don't always look to be as great as they could be, but trust me, he's a phenomenal goalie, and put him on the backbone of a solid team in front of him, and he will certainly shine as a star like the rest of them would. So to me, those are your top 2 guys. There's no doubt. When it comes to the number 3 spot, I do think that's a little bit more up for debate. I'm going with Leafs goalie Jack Campbell for that spot right now, based on how he's played the last few years. A little bit older, a little bit more established, but obviously he's going to have some competition from some young guys around the NHL that could end up playing their way onto the spot. There is no doubt. My one concern too with Campbell is health. He says sometimes he tends to get hurt a bit more than some goalies do. Obviously that's kind of hampered him being a little bit of a late bloomer too, being such a solid NHL goalie at a little bit later age than he probably was projected or would have liked to have been. But ultimately he's been real good for Toronto these past couple of seasons. So ultimately I am projecting him to be on the spot, but I think guys like Thatcher Demko, even Spencer Knight, will give him a run for his money. When it comes to Spencer Knight, I would not be shocked to see him take the starting job in Florida from Sergei Bobrovsky, and if he does that, there's going to be a real good chance that he's played his way onto this roster. Of course, like I said, you get Demko as well, who certainly will be the starter in Vancouver again, and has had some pretty good years. But like I said, I think Campbell's a little bit more experienced, a little bit more steady right now, but they don't have to make their decisions right now, and these other guys are going to have a chance to outplay him for that third and final spot. So that to me is your 3 goaltenders with a couple of other players here in the mix. Now, when it comes to Team USA's blue line, this was not easy as well, but to me, the forward group was by far the most difficult, and we'll get into that here in a moment. Your top pair for me for Team USA is going to be on the left side, Carolina Hurricanes defenseman Jacob Slavin, and on the right side, Boston Bruins defender Charlie McAvoy. This gives you a good balance of defense and offense. Obviously, they play a different style of game, but they're both very reliable, both really good at their craft, and I think they would make a terrific top pair here for Team USA. Log a lot of minutes. They've had this opportunity to play for their country before, and I think they would absolutely shine as stars here in this opportunity. Now, the second pair is going to be reunited from their days in Columbus, and that's Seth Jones and Zach Werenski. Obviously, they were one of the top pairs in the league in Columbus for a while. Of course, Seth Jones now belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks, where he was traded this past offseason and signed a mega extension. And of course, Werenski signed a mega extension himself to remain with the Blue Jackets. So they're both making tons of money. They're both familiar with each other. They have a lot of experience playing together. So it only makes sense that Team USA would give them that opportunity here to play together again. That familiarity in a short tournament is going to come in handy. Obviously, a lot of these guys have played together at some point in their career, whether it be other international tournaments or the lower levels leading their way up to pro hockey. But the more familiar they are with each other and can kind of get some chemistry going quick, will be that much more likely to help the team have more success. Third pair, we're going with some youth and some excitement with Rangers defenseman and reigning Norris Trophy winner Adam Fox. And on the left side, Vancouver Canucks stud defenseman Quinn Hughes, who's in the process of needing a new contract as we speak here. Of course, he remains unsigned, at least as of the recording of this video. By the time it's published on YouTube, that might have changed. But ultimately, Hughes and Fox would give you some great skating, great puck moving, guys that can certainly help run a power play if need be as well. They actually might be the preferred guys along with a guy like McAvoy to be your power play specialist here in these opportunities. But certainly I think as the tournament goes on, they could certainly earn their worth and get more playing time. And it's important to get some youth, some experience here, as some of these guys on this team are going to be getting a little bit older when they have another opportunity to go back to the Olympics, hopefully in 4 years' time. So, you're going to have some youth here get some much needed experience. Now, as far as some extra defensemen, you're always going to carry one or two extra depending on what the rules allow, but sometimes it's hard to narrow down to just one extra. But I've got Ryan McDonough of the Tampa Bay Lightning and John Carlson of the Capitals being your two extra defensemen. Not too shabby when they're your extra defensemen, that's for sure. They both have a ton of experience. They both have Stanley Cups to their name. They both are used to being, a real top guy for their team. McDonough was the captain for the Rangers for a while. He's played a second pair role with the Lightning now for the past 3 years. 2 Stanley Cups to his name. Carlson's been the top pair guy in Washington for quite some time, has a Stanley Cup to his name, puts up a ton of points, and they're both excellent choices to be there as well. And you know what? It might even be a scenario where Team USA decides to go with the veteran guys here and make guys like Hughes or Fox be the extra guys because of their age and lack of experience at that level of tournament. That is a real possibility. Wouldn't be a shocker, but either way, they have 8 great defensemen there to absolutely pick from and not be, slouching at all. Like, they're going to have a wicked blue line. There is no doubt about that. Now, before we carry on looking at the forward group, I want to pause for a moment and acknowledge one of our channel sponsors, Exter Smart Wallets. Top Shelf Hockey is proud to be sponsored by Exter. Forbes calls Exter the most successful smart wallet brand in the world. They certainly have high quality products, high grade leather. You can put all your cards in your wallet with RFID protection, and you can track it worldwide. That's the best part. You don't have to worry about losing your wallet and not being able to track it down. They have a great selection of products to choose from here, a variety of colors and styles, something to surely help for everyone. As you can see in the demonstration here for the product I have, this is a beautiful packaging, high quality. When you open it up, you get a high quality wallet with lots of slots for your cards. You have yourself a money clip if you want to carry cash on you here as well. And certainly, as you can see, the quality is outstanding. And here you can see the switch where you can help open up your cards. You just one little click and boom, everything fans out right in front of you. Easy to access. Your cards are protected. And here's the back where you have yet another slot. A terrific overall product, and I can't recommend these enough. Exter ships worldwide, and you can check out the link down below in the description as well as the pinned comment to buy yours today. So thanks very much for watching that promotional content. Quick shout out as well to all of our channel members and everybody who's been buying a lot of the merchandise lately. Our merch sales have been phenomenal, and I just want to say thank you very much for all of your recent support. It is very much appreciated. Now, getting into Team USA's forward group. There's a lot of guys here to pick from. It was no easy task, as I mentioned. I will not be surprised at all if at least a few comments, and I suspect there'll be many, might disagree with some of my choices. And like I said, that's totally fine. Let me know who you think the line should be down below in the comments. We can discuss further. I think a lot of the early season play for some of these guys will end up dictating whether or not they make it. And there's just so many to pick from. It's tough, but I think ultimately your top line is going to be Austin Matthews, and I put him on the wing with Patrick Kane of Chicago and Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets. Connor and Kane extremely strong goal-scoring wingers. Of course, Kane's also a good playmaker. Connor's pretty good at both ends of the ice. Matthews gets a wicked shot. To me, I think this trio could easily be one of the top lines in the tournament. There's no doubt they would be a dominant line, and I think they would have a lot of chemistry together. So to me, I think they're kind of like the best of their positions based on what Team USA has to offer. I mean, you've got Patrick Kane, one of the greatest more American-born players of all time, really. Austin Matthews is becoming one of those players as well, one of the current top goal scorers and top players in the NHL. And you got Kyle Connor. Sometimes, someone is an underrated guy, but he's been real strong for Winnipeg and can produce with the best of them as well. Now, line 2 is going to depend on health here, but assuming he gets his surgery and is ready to go, I've got Jack Eichel being your number 2 center, followed by Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau being his wingers. To me, that's a pretty lethal second line. You've got the skill of Jack Eichel. You've got the skill and the tenacity and the way that Matthew Tkachuk plays. He can be the guy digging in the corners, playing your physical style of game, where you've got Johnny Gaudreau with the skill and the dangles, and Eichel has a little bit of all that minus the physicality, but still, like, that could be a real physical, skilled line. Have a little bit of everything there in the mix to really make them a dynamic, lethal line on the offensive side of the puck. At least in my opinion, I think they're kind of the best available at their positions. Now, like I said, these lineups might not be exactly what's what, but these are certainly the players I expect to be on the team. Line 3, to me, I have Dylan Larkin being your number 3 center, and on the wings, we've got Alex DeBrincat and Jake Gensel. Now, DeBrincat and Gensel, both guys who can score 40 goals in an NHL season. If they're playing on your third line, you have a deep team. There's no doubt about that. So to me, they have absolutely lots of goal scoring in this lineup. Larkin can be a terrific skater with lots of speed, a little bit more, responsible defensively as well. So to me, that would be an excellent possibility for your number 3 line. And on your 4th line, I've got a couple of teammates in Vancouver with JT Miller and Brock Besser. Completing the trio would be Washington Capitals winger TJ Oshie. I had a hard time deciding, to be honest. Like I said, this was really hard, but I just could not leave Oshie off this team, given how well he's played with the Team USA in the past. Now, your extra guys are Blake Wheeler and Max Pacioretty as your extras. Now, they could also look to be making some more youth on this roster. Like, I had a hard time leaving off guys like Jack Hughes and Brady Tkachuk. I really tried to find a way to fit them into this lineup. And again, if they have phenomenal starts to the season, maybe they bump guys like Miller or Oshie off the lineup. It's hard to say, but I mean, Blake Wheeler has been such a strong player for the Winnipeg. Pacioretty is still scoring at a 30 plus goal pace in Vegas. It's hard to leave these guys off. And at the end of the day, they're either going to have to decide, do we take the veteran guys like JT Miller, like TJ Oshie, Max Pacioretty, Blake Wheeler? Do they go more with a veteran group and have to leave off some youth like Brady Tkachuk or Jack Hughes? Are going to have to wait till next time around to get their experience? Or are they going to go with youth now and hope they can get the job done and also gain the necessary experience to help Team USA still dominate for years to come? I'm not sure what direction they're going to go in here, but obviously there's quite a difference in those types of players. You're going to get very different styles of play. So at the end of the day, it really boils down to how they want to go about this. Of course, we know Team USA is going to be coached by Mike Sullivan, has multiple Stanley Cups to his name with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and certainly is going to be a real strong top team. I do expect the Team USA to be in the mix when it comes to talking about who could win the gold medal. I have no doubt they would be capable of it. Said the same thing about Team Canada. It's not going to be an easy tournament. There's going to be the first time in a long time we've seen best on best with the best NHL players participating in this tournament, and it should be lots of exciting times and fun games to watch. So let me know your thoughts on Team USA. Who do you think should be on this team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.